Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Hiren Trada. I'm your instructor, professor for EE 321, the second 5-week summer session. And the class is regarding electronics. So everyone, I assume, has taken 201, or for Bray majors, you have taken a class that is similar to 201, where you learn about electric circuits. Electric circuits, you learn about resistors, capacitors, and inductors, all linear devices, passive elements. Now we will look into or study about semiconductor devices, which is diodes, transistors, FETs, MOSFETs, logic circuits, and so on and so forth. Okay, so there are major differences. I will go over that, but first I want to just explain a little bit about the course website. Most people would not have seen something like this before, so it can get confusing. So let me go ahead and do that first. Okay. So this is the course website. It's a front page. It's best viewed for the first time, at least it's best viewed on a laptop or a desktop. Okay. It is set up for mobile access because I use the different sections in the website, so you can jump to a topic directly if you wish. The way I teach, and there are a lot of familiar faces, so the way I teach is familiar to several students, which I guess 1 quarter of punishment wasn't enough. So students wanted to come back and take another quarter, or at least another class. So I see some familiar faces here. Some of you have taken the 201 class in the summer, so the material will be fresh for you. Some of you have taken it maybe a quarter before in spring or maybe in the winter. Okay, if you are joining my class for the first time, what I do is I teach using a digital board, digital whiteboard, which is like set up right here, okay, on my desk. So mostly I would be sitting, standing at this table desk right here, and writing and annotating on this writing tablet. This is then duplicated on the projector, and so you're able to see my annotations in real time. So I can obviously write on here also if I wanted to on the website, but I write using Microsoft's OneNote. Okay, Microsoft's OneNote. Those annotations are already available to you, not already, are available to you in real time. So if you sign up for the class notebook, which I strongly recommend students do, you will have my annotations directly available to you in real time. And so the advantage with that is many students would prefer listening to the talk rather than be busy writing down notes all the time. And so for students who wish to do that, this frees them up from taking notes, so they can just pay attention to what the instructor is talking about. So that's an advantage. In addition to that, I broadcast this lecture on Zoom. So students who wish to attend on Zoom, they can do so. You do not need special permission to do that. So this class is available in 3 modalities. You can attend in person in the classroom. You can attend live online, or if you wish to do neither, you can just watch the lecture videos. Because this screen right here, the shared screen and my voice is recorded, and I post the lecture videos on YouTube, publicly available. And so a lot of students like to do that. Does that make sense? Any questions thus far? So 3 modalities. You can attend class live in person or online or offline. The 4th option is, of course, if you choose not to do any one of those, that is also fine with me. As long as you submit all the work, that's all I care about. Okay. It doesn't matter how you learn, whether through me or through AI or through other websites, but as long as you learn and I can verify your learning, I can assess your learning, that's all that matters. Okay. So having said that, let me move into syllabus, and because that's a segue to attendance. So let me bring up attendance first. So attendance is not mandatory for this class. I do not take attendance. Okay, I do not really care about attendance. You are all adults. You pick and choose what works best for you. Okay, it's your education. It's in your hands. I will present the information. It's there. Again, you pick and choose what works best for you. If on some days you feel sleepy, you don't want to wake up and come to campus, sit at home. If you have maybe had a late night working or well doing something else, and you don't want to attend online or come to class, you can watch the recorded video later on. That's also absolutely fine. Okay, again, as I said, you are all adults. You are in charge of your education. You pick and choose what works best for you. So again, Zoom option is available for all students. You do not have to request any special permission. So again, attendance is not mandatory, and Zoom is available to all students. You can attend class today, go on Zoom on Wednesday, maybe come back to class on Friday, and maybe attend class over Zoom all of next week. Week after that, maybe you just want to watch recorded videos. No need to apply for special permission. Obviously, if you are attending live, whether you're online or whether in person, you have direct access, so you can get your questions answered in real time. Okay, I'm available to answer questions anytime students want, but of course, the best time is right when we are discussing the topic. I'll talk about everything else later. So that was about the modalities and the class attendance. So let's go back to the class website. So right up front, there are actually, you know what? Let me do student view. So right up front, there's a table with the most common links that students would need for the class. There's the syllabus, the class schedule, and the course information. The links for the syllabus are exactly the same as the one in the left pane. Okay, there's no difference. Then let's see. So you open up syllabus, we take it there. Class schedule and course information is the same link as from here. Then we have slides. You can already download all the slides that you want. I went to the wrong page, wrong course actually. Let's go back. That tells me no one is paying attention. All right, 321, now we're in the right class. Oh, by the way, feel free to interrupt me anytime. Okay, you're not going to offend me. If you have a question, if you have a doubt, if you see an error or something, just raise your hand, point out, hey, just interrupt, it's fine. And this goes for online students also. Again, if you're attending online, I won't be able to monitor the chat window. So if you have a question, just feel free to ask. Just be aware though, the speakers are on a speakerphone, not in my headphones. Okay, so if you do ask a question, keep that in mind. All right, where was I? Okay, so the syllabus link is the same as the one on the left. And it gives you all the information that you would need for this class. There's a ton of information in there, but I'm going to hit the most common ones right here. Okay, so as I was saying, slides are already online. You can download these anytime you want. You can import them into your own note-taking software. Lots of students like to take notes on their own iPads or tablet devices. And so they have their preferred software. The one I use, the one I prefer is Microsoft's OneNote. There are several benefits to using that as an instructor and as a student. And one of the biggest ones is I can set up a class notebook, a digital class notebook, where I can write something at my end and the annotations are already available at your end. So that's the lecture slide. Let's see, syllabus, communication and office hours. Okay, my email is hstrada@calpoly.edu. Very easy to find. I'm right down the hallway through that door, and a few doors down on the right, 117, that's my office space. Okay, and I'm pretty much there. Well, during the regular quarter, I'm there every day from 8 to 5. Summers, I'm here from 8 to 5 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, sometimes I'm in on Tuesday and Wednesday also, but that's not a guarantee. It's only if some work has to be done that I'll come in. Otherwise, I'd be working from home. Okay. Two important things about using email, and this is not just for me, it is for any professor, instructor, staff that you interact with at Cal Poly. Two things. One is that you should always use your own Cal Poly ID. I know a lot of students like to use your, Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, if anyone still uses Hotmail. If you use a personal email ID, sometimes Cal Poly's filtering system will send it to spam. Even if you have used it in the past, sometimes there might be some keywords or some file attachments that would trigger the spam protection and send it to spam. Okay. Your Cal Poly ID is verified and it's assigned to you as a person, right? It's automatically verified through your account, your student account. Second is that if it's a personal ID, anybody can spoof your name and create an email address. Okay. For instance, my name is Hiren Trada. Somebody can just create Hiren Trada 123456 and just type in my first name and last name and make it as if the email is coming from me. The reason this is important is because if somebody spoofs your email ID and sends us information, if we don't pay attention, we might divulge some private information about you to some random person. Okay, so it's always advisable to use your Cal Poly email ID to communicate, regarding anything with Cal Poly administrative staff, faculty, or anyone at Cal Poly. Okay. Let's see. Office is 117. My office is a safe place for all students, regardless of their background, their gender identity. Doesn't really matter what, but it's a safe space. My classroom is a safe space for learning, right? So I encourage free speech. As long as it's not offensive, we can have as many discussions as we want in the classroom. Okay. If you have preferred pronouns that you'd like me to use, again, please send me an email and just let me know. And, I always like to ensure that I do that. Office hours, I have an open door policy. I'm usually available 7 days a week, literally Saturdays and Sundays too, if you want. Send me an email. I'm usually up. I was up last night till like midnight. And so I was answering student emails as and when they came in. I'm available on Zoom too. So if you're, stuck addressing an issue or trying to learn a topic, it's better to just meet with me, send me an email. If we can't answer questions through email, I'll, gladly hop over on Zoom for a few minutes. That being said, official student hours are listed right here. Monday and Friday is from 3 to 4, and then Wednesday a bit more, which is from 1 to 4. I'm here in the morning at 8:15 every day, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you need to see me, just send me an email or knock on my door. Usually I'm preparing for class, or I might be doing some other work, going to the department office, moving in and out. So I may not always be in the office, even though I am on campus. Okay, so send me an email if you wish to see me before class. And if I have, if I have a few minutes, I'd be happy to meet with anyone. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Course information, access code purchase. Let's go there. So if you have taken a class with me, you know that I use Pearson's Mastering Engineering. And if you have not taken a class with me, well, I do use Pearson's Mastering Engineering. Now, the first thing when I was a student, if I heard or if I found out the instructor is using an online code and I had to purchase for 50, 60 bucks, I had to purchase a code just for doing the homework, lots of thoughts would run to my mind, and none of them would be, appropriate to use in a classroom. But I use the system, and again, I recognize that this is a non-EE major class. So you're taking it for like 5 weeks, which is basically like a 10-week quarter. And then you might think, why should I spend money on doing something? Is the instructor lazy? What is going on? So let's address that first thing. It's not about lazy or avoiding the work. If I wish, I can, we can get graders to the department to do the grading work. But that's not the point of the system. I truly believe the system, the way I use the system, It enhances student learning. It aids student learning, okay? I negotiated a low-cost option for the students in my class. So there's a special link that I use through Pearson. Typically, their codes run $99 for an e-text plus the code. When I negotiated this a few years ago, they said they would include the e-text for a little while, then they removed the access. So I think the price is now $52. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has that changed? That hasn't changed, right? If you did take 201 with me, and you the same code should work for 321 also. So that's the purchase price again. So if you go online and you buy the code for this class and you see there's no e-text option, that is one reason why. Because with the e-text, it goes up to like $100, almost doubles in price. Okay. And I make it worth the cost. So homework is set at a massive 40% of your grade. Okay. It's a 40% of your grade. And that is split into two parts. The online system homework that you do is worth 30% of your grade. And the work that you write out, and I'll explain that in just a little bit, your work that you write out is worth 10%. But overall, homework is worth 40%. And so if you're spending money, the way I've set up the system, it aids student learning, it enhances student learning. You can speak with any of the other students, your student peers in the class who have taken 201 with me, and overwhelming response that I've received over the years has always been positive. Okay. So sometimes students will leave feedback that, I didn't like the fact that I had to purchase it, but it was worth the money. It was worth the expense. Okay. That's what the overwhelming feedback I've received over the years. If it was negative, it was truly negative, I would have stopped using this. But that has not been the case. So again, access code is required for every student. Okay. And you can purchase it directly through Pearson from Canvas. You link the course from inside Canvas, and then there's a 14-day free trial. And after the trial ends, it'll ask you to purchase the code. Let's see. Okay, so as I was saying, homework counts for 40% of your overall grade. Okay. Without doing the homework, students will not be able to receive a good grade in the class. As simple as that, right? If you don't do the homework, let's say you're only 50% on your homework, that's 20% of your overall grade. So 20% of your overall grade means you've already dropped down to C. You're underwater. You're below sea level. Then there are extra credit problems right here. There are extra credit problems scattered throughout all the homework assignments. There are tutorials. There are guided tutorials. There are video solutions that you can watch as part of the homework assignments. And all of those are for extra credit. So they're optional. You do not have to do so. So that's where the multi-level comes in. Okay. If you think you want to have that extra credit, if you think you want to learn that extra material, you can do so. It's optional, it's extra, so extra credit. That extra credit does not go to waste. If you have a homework assignment, that extra credit that you earn goes and applies to the other assignments also. So homework assignments, there are 13 in all, they're all totaled up together as one single points total. Okay, any extra credit that you earn, and often students do earn more than 100%, is applied and carried over to the overall grade. Meaning if you lose points in the quizzes, if you lose points in the final exam, the extra credit that you earn in the homework will apply to everything else. Secondly, all assignments are always open. They never close. So there is a deadline for every homework assignment. The deadline might sometimes move either forward or back, depending on how fast or slow we cover the material in class. So there are deadlines, but those are kind of soft deadlines. You can submit homework. Late homework is accepted. You can submit late homework. You do not have to send me an email. You do not have to request permission, nothing like that. Okay. But every day that you're late, there is a small penalty of about 5% of your earned credit. Okay, so students who submit on time, they do not have any penalty, but students who are late, they can't submit it, but there's a small penalty of 5%. And even that, that penalty does not, it's a small penalty, so depending on the homework and the points, it's not a big deduction. Every single problem in every single homework has a maximum of 30 attempts. That's the maximum value a system would allow me to set. So you can try for 30 times before you can, before you, well, students would try about 5 or 6 times before they give up. So if you try for 5 times and you still do not get the right answer, then, just reach out to me. And then I'll make sure that, you can arrive at the right answer. Anyway, so everything is set up towards the benefit of the students. Everything is set up to the benefit of students learning. Okay. Every attempt that you utilize, there is a deduction of 3%. Okay. So again, it's a small penalty. Students have told me that they like the system. There's a penalty, so it's fair to students who get it done on time or with the correct answers, but it does not penalize students heavily on the other direction also. So any questions about homework? Homework assignments? Yes. So I'll go over that. Yeah. So the question being asked is about the second submission, and I will go over that right now. So after access code purchase, let's go to the next page, assignments and grading. So we already talked about mastering assignments. So I would point out students should open up these links and read through each individual one. Okay. So homework, actually, you know what? Let me do the grading first. So homework, the mastering engineering on Pearson is worth 30% of your grade. The scan and upload, which is on Canvas, is worth 10%. Quizzes are total for 40%, and the final exam is 20%. Total of 100%, and then optional instructor evaluations worth 2%. Again, that's an extra credit. And let's talk about each one of those one by one. Excuse me. So everything I talked about is right here. Again, I would encourage students to read through everything and then just let me know if they have any questions. Okay. The reason the syllabus is so long and reads like a legal agreement from a corporation is because it addresses every single point that a student has made over the years. And yet I had, there are always loopholes that someone tries to find. And one of my lab classes in spring, a student found a loophole. And I won't go into more discussion beyond that, but they found a loophole. And so I had to change my policy regarding my lab class from this summer on. So again, that is the reason why, agreements are, a syllabus is basically a legal agreement between the student and between the students and the instructor. Okay, this is what you can expect from the instructor, and that is also what is also outlined is what the instructor expects from the student. Okay, so because it's an agreement, there are always loopholes. Some students, not all, some students might try to find loopholes and get around the rules. And so over the years, we keep adding on stuff, and then it just becomes bloated. But again, these are the main ones that you want to read through. So second part was the assignments with the homework scan submissions. So the online homework is where, there are multiple choice questions. There are true or false questions. There are short answer questions, and then there are problems. Each of the problems is divided into multiple steps. Obviously, the expectation would be that students are doing the work themselves and just simply copying the answers from somewhere. So if you are doing the work somewhere, whether it's on your tablet or whether it's on your in your notebook with a paper and pencil or paper and pen, you have some record of your work. Students will scan this work and then upload it to Canvas. It doesn't have to be neat, though I would encourage students to practice that. It doesn't have to be neat as long as it is legible and I can see that the work is done. Okay. Let's say there was a problem that asks, x plus y is equal to 4, y is equal to 2. What is x? Just a very simplistic example. So then you would do some work, right? Call it scratch work or rough work or whatever you want to call it. Then you upload the answer, not upload the answer. Then you enter the answer on Pearson online, but then you scan your work and you upload it to Canvas. Does that make sense to everyone? And that's the second part of the homework. And that is worth 10% of your grade. Yes. Sorry. Okay, so the question being asked is what kind of paper we should use. Anything is fine. Even a blank paper, rule line doesn't really matter. There are no rules attached to this homework submission. As long as I can see that the homework, the work has been done, students receive full credit. So the grading for the second portion is that there is no grading. As long as you get it submitted, you receive full credit. So it's kind of like 10% of your overall grade is like a freebie in that sense. Okay. Just make sure you submit it. That's all. Any questions regarding this? How much? 10:35. Wow. Okay. And then quizzes. There's no midterms in my classes. I don't like to give those midterms. I mean, not I used to give them, but not anymore. For the last several years, what I've done is I've broken up the assessments into bite-sized pieces. So there are quizzes, but there are no exams except for the final. Typically in a quarter, I would do about 8 or 9 quizzes. 201 in spring, I did about 9 quizzes. 9 quizzes would be worth, in terms of time and points, it would be about 2 or even 3 midterm exams. 7 quizzes is about 2 midterms. Anything above that is like, crosses over like 2.5, 3 midterms. Okay. Beginning this Friday, we'll have our first quiz on Friday. Then my goal is to have quizzes on Fridays and Mondays. Okay. Summer quarter is a little bit weirder in terms of time because everything is doubled, especially the 5-week sessions. You have 10 weeks in a normal quarter. You meet for 1 hour Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 hours. In the summer, you're meeting for 2 hours Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So everything is doubled. And so that creates a issue while you're trying to schedule quizzes and assessments. But this is like kind of like the best structure that I've found, or I've found in the past. So every Friday and every Monday, first thing before class begins, we'll have a quiz. And then depending on how fast or slow we cover the material, 1 or 2 of the quizzes might be on a Monday. Might be on a Wednesday. I'll try to avoid those. But, well, let's see how it goes. Also, students who may be working or doing an internship, they are attending remotely or they may be just watching the lecture videos. So for those students, quizzes are available also in the evening at 8 o'clock. Okay. So maybe if you're sick one day or you have an emergency or something and you miss a quiz, you let me know as soon as possible. As soon as possible before I post the solutions. Okay. Let's see. Then final exam is right here in this classroom. According to Cal Poly's rules, it's supposed to be on the last day of class. So it will be August 30th for us. Okay, we don't make up the schedule. Cal Poly's administrative staff does. And so we have to stick and adhere to those rules. It's the last day of class. All the topics that you would need are already online. So again, time date is like the basically last day of class, August 30th from 10 to 12. And there is no offline option. Students must give the final exam in person. Okay, they have to give the exam in person. Due to the time length, which is only 2 hours, it probably won't be these many topics. I might trim some of these so to fit the 2-hour time length. Yes. No, it's 3 hours for the quarter. So the question being asked was about the final exam length. In a normal quarter, the exam is about 3 hours. The summer quarter, I kept it for 2 hours. Okay, so that was assignments, syllabus. Let's see, attendance, participation, like artificial intelligence. How many of you are using AI for personal use? That's it? I thought it'd be a lot more students. How many of you are using it but don't want to say? It's fine. You can use AI, okay, in my classes. This right here, this page is under construction. That's all. I wanted to have an AI policy, but just didn't have time to get to it. So AI policy is, if you wish to use it, use it. It's fine. Right now, AI. So what I will say about AI is this: it's regenerative AI. Okay, so you feed AI or AI systems some information. It's unlike a web search. A web search is simply going to take that information and present it to you. What AI is going to do is, depending on what model you're using, most of the models available in the market are transformer models. So it takes that information, it transforms it, and it generates something new, hence generative AI. Okay. The thing with that is, when it comes to engineering, especially, most of the information is from textbooks. Okay. There are websites that freely allow information. Okay. So you could type in AI and say, explain to me in less than one page how a diode works. Okay. That's a prompt for AI. So again, if you wish to do that, go ahead and do so. But what you need to do is you need to develop your skills to such a level that you can determine whether the information that is being presented is correct or not. Because here's the thing: artificial intelligence, by its very design, can do C-level work. In some cases, even B-level work. Okay? Because it takes the information that has been fed into it, and it's going to predict what an average person might say. So by definition, it can do average work. Okay? There is no way around it. So if an employer can already get average work from an AI, they are not going to hire people who might cost them thousands of dollars a month when they can get it done for like hundreds or even tens of dollars a month. Free versions of AI are available to everyone. Paid versions cost what, about $20, $25 a month. So think about that. If an employer can get something done for $20 or even $100 a month, why would they hire somebody and pay them $5,000 a month? Plus benefits and plus other associated costs. So as students in training, you need to increase your technical skills so you're above AI, not at the AI level. Thankfully, in engineering, we are not there yet. Okay, the difference between older times when we had computers that could do calculations, but those calculations are straightforward. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or it's not. So most of the AI is not about that. Most of the AI is about predicting. They are language models. They are not numerical models. Yes, AI can probably do the work that calculator does, which is like 2 + 2, but it can't take a circuit, it can't take a system, like a mechanical system, and figure out a new system. Not yet, but it's coming. In the next 5 to 10 years, a decade from now, depending on how fast or slow it goes, it's going to replace humans most of the way. And so as students in learning, you have to keep that fact in mind. So use AI as a tool, but not as a crutch. Okay. For instance, we'll talk about something in today's class. Then you think about prompts that you wish to use for AI. Again, as I said, explain to me a diode operation in 1 page or less. What it's going to do is it's going to pull information from the free websites that are available and it's going to present it to you. And I've looked at some of those just to see, what kind of information is out there. Most of it is correct at the basic, most fundamental level. But sometimes you might get somebody who's, enters something in Wikipedia just for fun, and then it'll be like completely opposite of what it's supposed to be. So keep that fact in mind. Okay. Then attendance, participation, and late work. We covered that. Instructor evaluations. Oh, accessibility and disability. If you need accommodations for your learning, please let me know as soon as possible. Actually, let the DRC, the Disability Resource Center, know as soon as possible, because they are the experts. They will guide me in how to best accommodate you. Disability does not mean just a physical or a mental or emotional disability. Disability in learning specifically, or simply stated, is a mismatch between a learner and their learning environment. Okay, if there's a mismatch between a learner and their learning environment, that is classified as a disability. Disability can be chronic, permanent, can be temporary. You fall sick, you are unable to attend classes, you are unable to get your work done. That is a temporary disability. It's a mismatch between you and your learning environment. So if you have such a thing, if you encounter such a situation, let me know as soon as possible. Okay, I'll make sure that your learning does not suffer. That is already baked into how I conduct class. So again, you can watch videos, you can attend online. If you're sick, don't come to the classroom. Whatever it is that you have, I don't want it, and neither does anyone else. So stay online and attend online, okay? All right, let's see. Was there a question online? Go ahead and ask, please. Again, I'm unable to monitor the chat window or any reactions online. So if you have something, just unmute and feel free to ask, please. Feel free to interrupt. That's accessibility and diversity. Instructor evaluations. There are official end of the quarter evaluations where you provide feedback about the instructor and the class. And there are unofficial weekly evaluations, which I have the form that is already in there in Canvas. It's exactly the same set of questions that are at the end of the quarter. But those, again, they're all anonymous. They're a little bit of extra work, and so I provide a little bit of extra credit. Whether you participate or not, whether you submit a feedback or not, I provide all students in the class with an extra credit in proportion to the response rate. So there are about 47 students in the classroom. If all 47 students fill out the evaluation, that's 100% response rate. Every student in the class will receive 1 extra credit point towards your overall grade. If 23 students out of 47 submit evaluation, that's an approximately 50% response rate. Every student in the class will again receive 0.5 points towards the overall grade. So whether you participate or not, you still benefit from your peers, okay? And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. There are resources that are available for students on campus. If you have dependents, you have children, you need any other accommodation, again, let me know. There are resources and support available on campus. There's an exhaustive list of additional student support services that are right here. There are some that you may not even have heard of. So please scan through these. It won't take you a few minutes or longer. And reach out to these and use these resources. They are for the benefit of students. Okay, so please do so. All right, it's a pretty long syllabus, and it takes 50. Let's class notebook. Class notebook is, let me leave student view. Class notebook is here. So in Microsoft's OneNote, this is how I use the class notebook. Okay, it's a digital notebook, very powerful software. You can divide, like an actual notebook, physical notebook, you can divide sections and have one for each one of your classes. Okay, so the way I use it is, there's this content library where I've already uploaded all the 5 chapters. All the slides are already on here. These are available at your end. You have to sign up through Canvas for the first time. Once you sign up, you can open OneNote directly and everything is available to you at your end. So if I write something here, if somebody is online right now, you can confirm and verify that this is visible to you. How many of you have heard of the sentence? I mean, students who have been with me before probably realize it, but other students also know this. It's a special sentence. What is so special about this? Yes? Quick brown fox. Anyone? Absolutely. It contains every single letter of the English alphabet, A through Z. It's a good way to practice your handwriting. But I mean, you have to practice. As you can see by my chicken scratch, I don't. If you ever have a issue with reading my handwriting, just let me know. I'll erase it and rewrite it again. So I wrote this. If somebody has OneNote open at their end, these annotations will be available to you at your end. Okay. The way OneNote works is this is, of course, the content library that is available to everyone. And so students cannot edit this. You can copy the slides into your own section of the notebook and you can write on those, but you cannot write on these, which makes sense, right? I mean, if you are taking notes, you don't want your notes to be visible to everyone else or messing up what the instructor has written out. So again, go ahead and sign up for the class notebook. And then you'll have full access to the annotations. Let's see what else. Oh, this is pertaining. Let's see. Lecture videos. I typically post the lecture videos right after class ends. There are videos from some of my older class, not older class, winter 22. So it's already on there. If you wish to get started, get a head start, you can go ahead and refer to those. Ours will be here under summer 24. Let's see. Okay. You can go ahead and subscribe if you want. This is not monetized. Okay, I don't make money off of this. So, I have 1 million views. I'm not making any money off of that. Okay. If you wish to go ahead and subscribe, you can do so because it just notifies you every time a new video is uploaded. So I will not send any notifications when the videos are uploaded. Okay. I will upload the videos. It'll be available by the end of the day. Let's see. The way I want to do this is typically I would teach from 10 to about 11. Then we'll take a short break, about 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll bring the second lecture. So one final thing is, if you're attending in person, you can walk in and out of the classroom anytime you want. Okay, you don't have to you don't have to ask permission. If you want to go take a break, go use the restroom, you want to eat or drink something in class, absolutely fine with me. Mornings, 10 o'clock. Students would be hungry. I'm also hungry. The only thing is, if you bring like a donut to class, bring one for me too. So you can eat and drink. Liquids, I would say keep away from the desks around electronic equipment because liquids and electronics do not mix. Okay, so you always want to keep your liquids on the floor away from all electronics. Same thing goes with food. Again, you can eat and drink all you want in the classroom. It's not going to offend me. You can leave the classroom anytime you want. You can come back in the classroom anytime you want. Again, we're all adults here. Presume that everyone is going to be responsible. It's a responsible adult. And so again, it's not going to offend me at all. Okay, feel free to do so. So let's stop right here. That's enough for one session. We'll take a break and we'll resume at 11.